Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Monday, October 2nd. So we have the moon in Taurus all day, but we will see the moon go void, of course, at 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be transitioning into this Gemini energy very early on Tuesday morning. So having the moon in Taurus definitely slows us down just a tad. We want to be more present, more aware of our physical body, of our physical circumstances. We don't really want to project ourselves too far in the past or in the future. We're really trying to stay in the moment, be very appreciative of the small things that bring us safety, security, stability, happiness, joy, and pleasure. This is a good time to take a logical, a practical approach to some of the thoughts and ideas coming at you, and some of the emotions that, of course, are creeping up for acknowledgement, for processing. We're still very early on in this new chapter in October, so if you haven't listened to October's energy forecast or downloaded your zodiac forecast for the month as of yet, definitely going to recommend you do so. We have 11 different aspects here today, and 9 of them are going to involve the moon. We're going to kick things off with the moon in Taurus energy, making a positive interaction with Chiron, the wounded healer, who of course is retrograde in Aries energy. This particular interaction kind of gives us that presence that we need to be in the here and now, to take a logical, practical viewpoint and approach to really where it is that we've made a lot of growth, where we've made a lot of progress. We're in a brand new karmic chapter, a brand new month. We're taking a look back now, especially that Mercury has cleared his post-retrograde shadow period, because the confusion is definitely dissolving, and little blips, little clips, little glimpses of aha moments now coming in. So of course, Chiron, being the wounded healer, is illuminating for us where it is that we've grown, the improvements that we've been able to make, where there's been some progress, and of course illuminating for us what it is that we want to kind of focus on, work on as of right now. Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, and how it is that we express ourselves, like I previously mentioned, now free and clear of his post-retrograde shadow period, still very much in Virgo energy, his rulership. So we're very focused, tunnel visioned, if you will, on the details of our lives, on our mental plane, on our thoughts, on our ideas. We're identifying what we can do better, where we can improve, what we can create as far as order and organization goes, out of some of the craziness and chaos that we have been sitting in. Mercury is sitting directly across from Neptune, who of course is retrograde in his place of power in Pisces energy. Neptune being retrograde in Pisces energy is taking us inward, really having us confront some of the issues that many of us would like to bury our head in the sand and just completely ignore. We're having a little bit of a reality check, but of course the Virgo energy, Pisces energy sit across from each other in the zodiac wheel, which means that this is the healing axis. What are we healing, you may ask? Well, Mercury is attempting to heal the mental plane, our thoughts, our narrative, our focus, our mental habits, if you will, very much focusing in on the physical realm, on the physical body, on the physical circumstances. Neptune is trying to heal our emotions, heal our soul, heal our spirit. But of course, many of us are in a particular situation right now where confusion still is reigning supreme. And therefore, we're kind of doing this teeter-totter between needing to be fully present in the here and now to address the problems, and then needing to kind of detach, disassociate, if you will, so that we're not getting overwhelmed to the point where we're going to just explode. Again, Pisces energy is endings and closures, Neptune, dreams, creativity, our spirituality, and because he is retrograde, there is more significance to having to kind of deal with the issues that we would typically run away from than what we're kind of able to do as far as dream and conjuring up a new vision, a new plan. We're going to have to strike a balance between opening up our heart space, our mind space, our soul space to kind of explore what it is that we want to pursue from here. But again, that Mercury and Virgo energy very much trying to keep us tunnel visioned on the present moment, on the here and now, and what we actually have control over and what we have to fix, repair, heal, and kind of reconcile. The moon in Taurus going to come up to, bump into, team up with Uranus, the Great Awakener, who is retrograde in Taurus energy. This is going to be a shock to the system. I'm hoping that it manifests in a positive way, meaning that there is a change in mood, a change in attitude, a change in perspective, a change in understanding. Otherwise, we could have anxiety. We could just have a shock to the system as far as a disruption to our routine, to our day that really kind of puts us in an emotional upset. Of course, we would prefer to stay on the more favorable outcome of these particular energies, but there's something very revealing, some kind of aha moment, epiphany, some kind of different perspective or understanding emerging on where it is that we have to do things differently. Now, granted, Taurus energy, a fixed earth sign, we're resisting all kinds of change at this particular point in time. And of course, Uranus wants us to think a little bit more further in the future than the moon in Taurus would prefer us to do. But either way, there is some new insight, some new energy, some new perspectives, understandings emerging right now that will help free us from where it is that we kind of feel stuck in a rut and put us in a more, I'm going to say, positive demeanor in order to explore where it is that we can make some dramatic changes in our physical realm. The moon in Taurus is going to interact with Mars. Mars is the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires. He's in Libran energy, really kind of sorting through the pros and cons of our choices, of the possibilities, of the decisions that we currently have on our plate. Granted, Mars being in the weakest placement in this Libran energy, it doesn't really feel good. There's a lot of frustration here. Why? Because we would prefer to take action. We don't want to sit around and think about it. However, we're at the particular point in the calendar where we do have to kind of plan and strategize how we are going to exert ourselves, how we are going to aggress ourselves to pursue new happiness, new passions, new desires. And Mars in this Libran energy, he's kind of torn from rocking the boat and not wanting to rock the boat, meaning we're still kind of in this full moon in Aries that Mars ruled over. That was acting as a trigger and a catalyst to kind of disrupt this foundation, this structure, if you will, so that we can try new things, especially be a little bit more independent and free from some of the closer relationship dynamics that we've been in that are very influential on our thoughts, on our ideas, on our passions, on our desires. So there is this like want, need, and desire to keep the peace in Libran energy, but Mars is also here ready to flip the boat over just to see who's going to sink, who's going to swim, and who's going to extend that particular life raft. Now, the moon interacting with Mars in this way is not the most favorable interaction, and so this is going to illuminate for us the choices, the decisions that we have, what it is that we're feeling emotionally, the impulses, the new passions and desires that we want to pursue, and mostly where it is that we're undecided on what it is that we should be doing. Again, we're in Libra season. Indecision is the name of the game. We're definitely feeling kind of all riled up in a different way because Mars is frustrated. He wants to get out of this particular situation. He wants to take action. He wants to see more progress. Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money in the heart and soul of the zodiac in Leo energy, will be trining, beautiful interaction, with the North Node in Aries energy. We get fire on fire here. This is what gives us our trine. And our trine is a gentle nudge, a harmonization, a gentle change, if you will, in the right direction. Venus, of course, very focused on building her emotional strength up in order to actually feel well prepared and well equipped to do the hard thing. We're making some decisions here. We're weeding some things, some people out of our lives. The fire energy is very cleansing because we're able to kind of detach from the old. We're able to understand where we want to initiate a new chapter, where we have a new spark, passion, desire really lighting up within us. And therefore, we're starting to piece together what kind of changes we need to make according to our heart space that, of course, will create a little bit of distance from where it is that we were at and put us on the path in which we desire to be. The moon is then going to interact with the sun in Libran energy in not the nicest way. Now, Taurus, Libra, what do they have in common? The same ruler, which is Venus. Venus, as she is trying to unpack the gunk on her heart space, really build herself up in boldness and bravery and courage to make some changes in our lives. The moon in Taurus wants us to be very present, but the sun shining a bright light in this Libran energy is highlighting where it is that we still have some work to do to create balance in our lives, where things are still living in extreme, where it is that we're uncertain and undecided on some choices, on some decisions. The moon, typically speaking, wants to anchor us in the past. The sun wants to kind of have us focus on the future, and the moon in Taurus wants us to stay in the present moment. So this is kind of why we're a little bit, I'm going to say, awkward with this interaction, because there's a lot of competing, conflicting energies. And so, the best thing to do is kind of ground out, stay present in your body as you could possibly can. Yes, of course, if your attention is kind of wandering away, to illuminate where it is that we still have some work to do in achieving balance, that's fine, but bring yourself back to the present body and really orient to all that is right, all that is good, all that is working, instead of focusing on what isn't. The moon in Taurus going to make an interaction with the North Node in Aries energy in a positive way, which does kind of suggest where we're gaining our footing, where we're planning, where we're strategizing to take maybe a few baby steps in the right direction. Now, what direction is that, you may ask? Well, that's still the question of the month. We're going to be gaining a lot of information, a lot of details that we've been previously lacking in order to make an informed decision. But overall, we're feeling a lot more emotionally stable than we have for a very long time. And because of this, we're starting to explore some of the baby steps that we could take to make some of the minor changes in our physical realm that we actually have control over. The moon is going to get into the boxing ring and square off with Venus. Venus rules over this Taurus energy, so this is definitely going to be a little bit of an oomph interaction, if you will, seeing as, of course, Venus in Leo energy in the heart space, very still unsure and uncertain on what it is that we need to do for ourselves, what it is that we need to do to create happiness and joy, what it is that we have to do to truly express ourselves, where a lot of new thoughts, a lot of new feelings have definitely been triggered and activated that we haven't been able to communicate as of yet. Getting into the boxing ring with Venus means that, emotionally speaking, we're still trying to sort through who and what needs to stay and needs to go. And of course, where there's conflict, where there's tension, where there's uncertainty, means that this is a topic and theme that needs your time, your energy, attention in order for it to be resolved. The moon is then going to sextile, beautiful interaction, with Neptune, who is retrograde in Pisces energy. This is beautiful because we love when Taurus energy and Pisces energy gets to interact with each other. Pisces energy, very emotional, very spiritual, very intuitive, very fluid, ever changing. We get to kind of grasp a new vision, a new dream, a new concept of what it is that we would like to bring to life. Taurus energy is where we're able to bring those ideas, that spark, that passion into form. Taurus energy is where we get to create in our physical realm something that we've been percolating on in our inner realm. So the moon sextiling with Neptune in this way is definitely going to heighten our intuition, really put us more in a more imaginative, creative mode, especially we're conjuring up new visions and dreams go. And overall, just feeling a little bit more renewed in our soul, in our spirit, in the path in which we're trying to currently piece together. The moon is going to trine beautiful energy with Mercury. We love this. This means that our heart and our head, although for a very short amount of time, will be on the same page. Taurus energy, Virgo energy are earth energies. The trine is a harmonization, a gentle nudge in the right direction on where it is that we're having some aha moments on what it is that we want to change, what we want to grow, what we want to improve, what we want to strengthen, and our heart, emotionally speaking, is on the same page. What happens when you can engage the heart and the head, get them on the same page? Then you can give the physical body permission to go ahead, take action, start making moves, to start rearranging, redesigning, restructuring the physical realm in which you have already arrived at. We've already made some decisions within us, and now we have to just kind of make sure that our outer realm is mirroring back what it is that we've already decided in our inner realm. The moon is going to trine with Pluto. Pluto's the great transformer. He's retrograde in Capricorn energy. Again, we get some earth on earth energies here. This is the last aspect of the day and the last aspect that the moon in Taurus is going to make before going void, of course. And this is an excellent one because, of course, Pluto is here to show us where it is that we're having a major change in attitude. a major change within our emotions, understanding where it is that we're taking a logical, practical, grounded approach to really sorting through our emotions, our ideas. We're understanding what is old, what is falling apart, what needs to be let go of. And now we're kind of stepping into the mind frame where we get to start creating alternatives on what it is that we're going to build in the place of the things that are falling apart.